Have you ever been in a conversation where you felt like you and the other person were speaking completely different languages? You say one thing, they hear another, and suddenly a simple chat turns into a puzzle of misunderstandings. What if I told you that a blueprint for these communication quirks might be written in the stars? Astrology, for many, is more than just a daily horoscope. It's a complex system that offers insights into our personalities, our desires, and yes, even the way we talk and listen. Each of the 12 zodiac signs is governed by a specific element: fire, earth, air, or water, and a ruling planet. These cosmic influences shape our core instincts, and a huge part of that is how we express ourselves and connect with others. It's not about putting people into boxes, but rather about understanding the different operating systems we all run on. So, get comfortable as we journey through the cosmos to decode the secret communication style of every zodiac sign. You might just discover why your best friend is so brutally honest, or why your partner needs time to process things before they speak. Let's start with the trailblazers, the passionate voices of the zodiac, the fire signs. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius share the element of fire, which means they communicate with energy, enthusiasm, and a whole lot of passion. They're here to get their point across, and they're not afraid to turn up the heat. First up, we have Aries, the ram. Ruled by Mars, the planet of action and aggression, an Aries communicator is nothing short of direct. They don't do subtle hints. They don't beat around the bush. They tell you exactly what's on their mind, when it's on their mind. Think of their communication style like an arrow shot from a bow. It's fast, focused, and it heads straight for the target. This can be incredibly refreshing. With an Aries, you rarely have to guess where you stand. They value honesty and authenticity above all else. However, this same directness can sometimes come across as blunt or even confrontational. Their impulsive nature means they often speak before they think, letting words fly in the heat of the moment. Patience isn't their strongest suit in a conversation. They might interrupt, not out of rudeness, but out of sheer excitement to share their own idea. They want to get to the point, solve the problem, and move on to the next thing. To communicate effectively with an Aries, match their directness but with a calm demeanor. Don't be afraid to state your opinion clearly, but avoid getting pulled into a power struggle. Give them space to lead the conversation, but don't let them steamroll you. Next in the fiery trio is Leo, the lion. Ruled by the sun itself, the center of our solar system, Leos love to be the center of a conversation. They are natural-born storytellers, weaving tales with drama, charisma, and a flair for the theatrical. Their communication is warm, expressive, and engaging. They don't just talk, they perform. They use grand gestures, a powerful voice, and a captivating energy that draws people in. A conversation with a Leo can feel like sitting around a campfire, listening to a story that makes you laugh, gasp, and feel completely mesmerized. They are also incredibly generous communicators, quick to offer compliments and encouragement. They want to make you feel seen and celebrated. The challenge for a Leo, however, is their need for an audience. They can sometimes dominate the conversation, turning a two-way dialogue into a one-person show. They thrive on validation and applause, and if they feel ignored or underappreciated, their sunny disposition can cloud over. They are also deeply proud, so criticism, even when constructive, needs to be handled with care. To connect with a Leo, show them you're actively listening. Applaud their stories, laugh at their jokes, and give them the positive feedback they crave. When you need to offer a critique, sandwich it between two genuine compliments. Make them feel respected, and they'll give you their whole heart in return. Rounding out our fire signs is Sagittarius, the archer. Guided by Jupiter, the planet of expansion and philosophy, Sagittarians are the truth seekers of the zodiac. Their communication style is brutally honest, optimistic, and endlessly curious. They don't have a filter. If they think it, they'll say it, not to be mean, but because they believe the truth, in its purest form, is the highest ideal. This can be both a blessing and a curse. You'll always get a straight answer from a Sag, but you might also get a dose of reality you weren't quite ready for. They are the philosophers who love a good debate. They want to talk about big ideas, foreign cultures, and the meaning of life. Small talk bores them to tears. They'd rather dive into a deep, sprawling conversation that expands their mind. Think of talking to a Sagittarius like going on an adventure. You never know where the conversation will lead, but it's guaranteed to be interesting. Their challenge is their lack of tact and a tendency to make sweeping generalizations. Their no filter approach can hurt feelings, and their love for debate can sometimes feel like they're just trying to be a contrarian. To speak the language of a Sagittarius, be open-minded and bring your sense of humor. Don't take their bluntness personally, it rarely comes from a place of malice. Engage with their big ideas, challenge their philosophies respectfully, and be ready for the conversation to take a few wild turns. Now, let's come back down to earth and explore the most grounded communicators of the zodiac. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn are the earth signs. Their communication is practical, deliberate, and rooted in reality. They're not here for fluff, they're here for substance. First is Taurus, the bull. Ruled by Venus, the planet of love and value, Taurus communicates with a calm and deliberate pace. They are the zodiac's best listeners. They will give you their undivided attention, patiently absorbing everything you have to say. They don't rush their words. When a Taurus speaks, it's because they have thought it through and believe it has value. Their advice is usually practical, sensible, and incredibly reliable. Think of their communication style like building a house brick by brick. It's methodical, strong, and built to last. They prefer face-to-face conversations where they can read body language and connect on a tangible level. The flip side of this is their legendary stubbornness. Once a Taurus has made up their mind, trying to change it is like trying to move a mountain. They can be slow to respond, needing time to process information before forming an opinion. This can be frustrating for more impulsive signs who want an immediate answer. To communicate with a Taurus, you need patience. Don't pressure them for a quick decision. Present your ideas in a clear, logical way, and appeal to their senses and their appreciation for comfort and security. Be dependable in your words, and you'll earn their unwavering trust. Next, we have Virgo, the maiden. Governed by Mercury, the planet of communication, Virgos are the editors of the zodiac. Their communication is precise, analytical, and incredibly detail-oriented. They have a gift for breaking down complex problems into manageable parts. When you need a clear, step-by-step plan, a Virgo is your go-to person. They communicate to be helpful, to fix things, and to bring order to chaos. Their mind is like a finely tuned instrument, catching details and inconsistencies that others miss. They are excellent at giving constructive feedback, as they can pinpoint exactly what needs to be improved. The challenge for Virgos is that this critical eye can sometimes turn, well, critical. They can get so caught up in the tiny details that they miss the bigger picture. Their well-intentioned advice can sometimes sound like nitpicking or judgment, even when they're just trying to help. They can also be prone to worry and overanalysis, replaying conversations in their head to dissect every word. To connect with a Virgo, be clear and specific. Vague statements drive them crazy. Appreciate their help and acknowledge their keen eye for detail. When they offer a critique, try to see it as an act of service, not a personal attack. And if you want to make their day, ask them to help you organize something. Our final earth sign is Capricorn, the sea goat. Ruled by Saturn, the planet of structure and discipline, Capricorns communicate with authority and purpose. They are the CEOs of the zodiac. When they speak, they mean business. Their style is reserved, formal, and goal-oriented. They don't waste words on frivolous chatter. Every conversation has an objective, whether it's to solve a problem, make a plan, or achieve a result. They are masters of a dry, witty sense of humor that can catch you by surprise. Think of their communication like a corporate memo. It's concise, direct, and gets straight to the point. They project an air of competence and control, and people naturally listen when they talk. However, this can also make them seem cold, detached, or overly serious. They often struggle to express their emotions, preferring to stick to facts and logic. They might see vulnerability as a weakness, so they keep their personal feelings under a tight lock and key. To communicate effectively with a Capricorn, be professional and respect their time. Come to the conversation prepared. Present your ideas with logic and a clear end goal. Show them you are competent and reliable. It takes time to get past their formal exterior, but once you earn their respect, you'll find a loyal and supportive ally underneath. Next, let's float up into the intellectual realm of the air signs. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius are all about ideas, information, and social connection. They are the thinkers and talkers of the Zodiac, and they live for a good conversation. First up, the master of words, Gemini. Ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication itself, Gemini is a whirlwind of words, thoughts, and ideas. They are witty, adaptable, and endlessly curious about everything and everyone. A conversation with a Gemini is like flipping through 100 different TV channels. It's fast-paced, full of interesting trivia, and can change direction in a split second. They are social butterflies who can talk to anyone about anything. They have a light, playful communication style and use humor to connect with people. Their minds are incredibly quick, allowing them to see multiple sides of any issue. This makes them fantastic debaters and brainstormers. The challenge? Their adaptable nature can sometimes be perceived as being two-faced or superficial. They might tell different people different things, not to be malicious, but to simply match the energy of the person they're with. Their attention span can be short, so they might seem distracted or lose interest if a conversation gets too heavy or emotionally bogged down. To keep up with a Gemini, be flexible and engaging. Bring new information to the table. Keep the conversation light and moving. Don't be offended if they get distracted by their phone or change the subject abruptly. It's just their busy mind at work. Next, we have Libra, the scales. Ruled by Venus, the planet of harmony and relationships, Libras are the diplomats of the Zodiac. Their entire communication style is built around creating balance, fairness, and pleasant connections. They are charming, gracious, and masters of social etiquette. They hate conflict and will go to great lengths to avoid it. They carefully choose their words to ensure no one feels offended or left out. A Libra's goal is to be a peacemaker. Think of their communication like a perfectly balanced scale. They weigh every word, consider every perspective, and strive for a harmonious outcome. They are excellent mediators, able to see both sides of an argument and find a fair compromise. The downside to this is a crippling indecisiveness. Their desire to please everyone means they can struggle to state their own opinion, especially if it's unpopular. They might say, yes, when they really mean, no, just to avoid a confrontation. This can lead to passive aggressiveness when their true feelings eventually bubble to the surface. To talk to a Libra, create a safe and harmonious environment. Use a gentle, non-confrontational tone. Frame your requests as a team effort. When you need their honest opinion, give them time and reassurance that you won't be upset, no matter what they decide. Our final air sign is Aquarius, the water bearer. Governed by Uranus, the planet of innovation and rebellion, Aquarians are the forward thinkers of the Zodiac. They communicate from a place of intellectual detachment, focusing on big ideas, social change, and the future of humanity. Their style is unconventional, original, and sometimes a little eccentric. They're not interested in emotional drama or personal gossip. They want to talk about science, technology, humanitarianism, and radical new concepts that challenge the status quo. They are friendly and open to everyone, yet they maintain a certain emotional distance. A conversation with an Aquarius can feel like attending a fascinating TED Talk. You'll walk away with your mind expanded and your perspective shifted. The challenge is that this detachment can come across as being aloof or impersonal. They process emotions through logic, which can be baffling to more feeling-oriented signs. They can be very fixed in their opinions, and once they believe they're right, it's hard to sway them with emotional appeals. To connect with an Aquarius, engage their mind. Talk about your ideas for the future, a documentary you watched, or a cause you're passionate about. Respect their need for independence and don't try to force emotional intimacy. Treat them as an intellectual equal, and they will see you as a kindred spirit. Finally, let's dive deep into the intuitive and emotional world of the water signs. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces communicate through feelings, intuition, and unspoken cues. For them, what's not said is often more important than what is. We begin with Cancer, the crab. Ruled by the moon, the celestial body of emotions and instincts, Cancers communicate with immense sensitivity and nurturing care. They don't just hear your words, they feel your emotions. Their communication style is indirect and intuitive. They speak from the heart, and their primary goal is to create emotional safety and connection. They are incredible listeners, offering a comforting space for you to share your deepest feelings. Think of talking to a Cancer as being wrapped in a warm blanket. They make you feel understood, cared for, and protected. They remember small details about you because, to them, those details are a part of your emotional story. The challenge is that their sensitivity can make them incredibly defensive. Like their symbol, the crab, they have a hard shell protecting a soft interior. A harsh word or a critical tone can cause them to retreat into that shell and shut down communication entirely. They can be moody and may not tell you directly what's wrong, expecting you to intuit their feelings. To communicate with a Cancer, be gentle. Your tone of voice matters more than your words. Create a safe, private space for important conversations. Share your own vulnerabilities to encourage them to open up. Reassure them of your care and affection. Next, we have the most intense sign of the zodiac, Scorpio. Ruled by Pluto, the planet of power and transformation, Scorpios communicate with piercing perception and strategic depth. They are the detectives of the zodiac, always looking beneath the surface. They don't do small talk. They crave deep, intimate, and transformative conversations. They have a built-in lie detector and can sense inauthenticity from a mile away. When they speak, their words are chosen carefully and carry a lot of weight. They can be incredibly persuasive and magnetic. A conversation with a Scorpio feels like a deep sea dive. It's intense, revealing, and you might discover hidden treasures, or hidden dangers. They value loyalty and trust above all else. However, their intensity can be intimidating. They are naturally private and suspicious, and it can take a long time to earn their trust. If they feel betrayed, their communication can become sharp, sarcastic, or they might resort to the silent treatment as a form of power play. They want to know all your secrets but will guard theirs fiercely. To talk to a Scorpio, be 100% authentic. Don't even try to lie. Look them in the eye and speak with conviction. Respect their privacy and don't push them to share more than they're comfortable with. Build trust slowly and consistently, and you will earn a powerful and fiercely loyal confidant. And last, but certainly not least, we have Pisces, the fish. Ruled by Neptune, the planet of dreams and illusion, Pisces communicates through empathy, imagination, and a gentle, non-linear style. They are the empaths of the zodiac, absorbing the emotional energy of everyone around them. Their communication is soft, compassionate, and often poetic. They speak the language of feelings, symbols, and art. They are fantastic listeners, offering a judgment-free space for you to be your most authentic self. They connect with the soul behind the words. Talking with a Pisces is like listening to a beautiful piece of music. It might not always be logical or direct, but it touches you on a deep, emotional level. They offer profound wisdom that seems to come from another realm. The challenge for Pisces is that their communication can be vague and hard to pin down. They avoid harsh realities and may say what they think you want to hear to avoid causing pain. Because they absorb so much from others, it can be hard for them to distinguish their own feelings from someone else's, leading to confusion. To connect with a Pisces, speak from the heart. Appeal to their imagination and their compassion. Be gentle, as they are easily wounded by harshness. Give them space to dream and don't demand a black and white answer for everything. Appreciate their emotional wisdom, and they will share their magical world with you. So there you have it, a journey through the 12 communication styles of the zodiac. As you can see, every sign has its own unique language. The fiery directness of an Aries, the earthy practicality of a Virgo, the airy intellect of a Libra, the watery empathy of a Pisces. None of these styles is better or worse than another. They are simply different. Understanding these cosmic blueprints isn't about excusing bad behavior. It's about fostering empathy. It's a tool that can help us navigate our relationships with more patience and grace, allowing us to finally understand why we sometimes feel like we're speaking different languages. Because maybe, in a way, we are. And learning to translate is the first step toward true connection. What's your zodiac sign, and does this communication style resonate with you? Let us know in the comments below.